Famous podcaster, comedian, and former MMA fighter Joe Rogan is left absolutely befuddled as he examines the tragic and horrendous attempted assassination of Donald Trump. I will say, by the way, just thank God the former president is okay. I mean, well, you know, okay is subjective, I suppose. Obviously, he got hit in the ear, poor guy, and is now healing from that. But it's really amazing to see what high spirits he's in and how he keeps his chin up after such a crazy and horrible attempt to take his life. I mean, I gotta hand it to him. Really tough guy. We saw that amazing moment where he went up, you know, while the ridiculous female Secret Service agents were kind of running around him and stuff, some of them cowering away and not even protecting him. Trump went up and put his fist up and told his fan base to fight. That's amazing, and he ought to be commended for that. He's one of the toughest guys I probably have ever seen in American politics, frankly, and he needs to be commended for that, honestly. I mean that sincerely. Whether you like the guy or not, you have to admit that he's really tough and he's a fighter, and that deserves a lot of respect. So guys, we're gonna get right into the video. It's gonna be a good one. But first, everybody, yep, you know where I'm going with this. Please be sure you like our video, share it around, and yes, hit that subscribe button so you can see what else the Resist the Mainstream channel is gonna come up with. Trust me guys, it's worth it, I promise you. Just please go ahead and do it. As always, I'm your host, Darian, and let's get into the show.
The Trump one is just so nuts too. Like, if he turns his head at the last second and the bullet grazes his ears, if he didn't, it hits the back of his head and he's dead, and then we fall into chaos, and who knows what the fuck happens.
Big chaos.
And then people think that the Biden administration had Trump killed, and and then there's these questions like, how the fuck does this 20-year-old kid climb on that roof 150 yards away and no one sees him?
Well, that one guy was pointing at him the whole time.
Yes.
He's like pointing to, he's like, he's right there.
And they're yelling, he's got a gun.
Thank God the former president survived that assassination attempt. I mean, that was just horrifying. And, you know, some are saying that maybe it wasn't just a matter of incompetence. I don't know. You know, I won't speculate on that right now because terms of service and things like that. But one thing I will say for sure is it's great that we have somebody who's going to save our culture and also protect our economy.
He's right there.
And they're yelling, he's got a gun. There's a guy in the prone position on a roof 150 yards away from the former president. The whole thing's nuts. The whole thing stinks of either incompetence or a design, or we're in the Matrix. Like, this is a fucking fake movie. It seems like almost to watch this, the most bombastic and manly of presidents, you know, for a lack of a better term, to see him with these two female bumbling Secret Service agents, especially the one, to see that, to see everything happen the way it is, to see that they knew this guy was on the roof, to hear that that guy had pointed his rifle before that at a cop. So the cop engaged him, he pointed the rifle and the cop ran away. The guy climbed the roof with a ladder. You can see the ladder. The whole thing is bananas.
Yeah,
he's 20 years old, and then you find out he was in a BlackRock commercial. You're like...
Let's also not forget that the Secret Service was quite literally inside of the building where Trump was shot at from. Interesting. You'd think that if they were literally occupying the building, they'd be able to catch the shooter and stop him in his tracks. But no, somehow that flew under the radar. Allegedly. Furthermore, did you guys see what the female lead of the Secret Service said about the event? I bet you she's a DEI hire. The Secret Service director boldly claimed that the reason why agents had not secured the building was because the roof was too sloped and they couldn't be on top of it. What? The roof is too sloped? First of all, if you look at photos of that, that looks like complete transparent donkey doo-doo. It will be politically correct today. But that aside, we're talking about the most well-equipped and well-armed security agency on planet Earth. And I don't think that's an exaggeration to say. You're telling me that they couldn't handle a roof with a slight incline, but then some idiot 20-year-old kid could? No big deal to go up and then try to almost assassinate a former president? Guys, let's not mince words about how screwed up and dangerous this whole situation was, okay? Probably missed Trump by like that much. I mean, Trump, if he hadn't turned his head, that must have been an act of the Lord himself or something, because had Trump not done that, we'd be having a very different discussion about this. It really is quite a miracle that he's alive, and it's just insane to think about. The more you think about it, the crazier it gets.
Is this the Black Mirror? Like, tell me what's going on. Is this real?
Good question.
Is this real? And then Trump goes golfing with a bandage on his ear the next day?
Yeah. And then the putt, when he made the putt.
Jesus
Did you hear his quote?
No.
He said, that's the difference between me and the shooter. I don't miss.
Like, this isn't a real person.
And then now you have people flooding from the left being like, all right.
Yeah.
That's a good quote. I'll do this.
There's people that are like, okay, he won. Like, they've just given in. They're not even going to try to run anybody other than Biden now. They were trying to get Biden out. And
true story. I actually had a really good buddy of mine who I've known for years and years call me up, phone me up and say, bro, I just wanted to say, I'm sorry I made fun of you for all these years for supporting Trump, voting for him, whatever. I was totally wrong about it. Biden's a joke. They just tried to kill Trump. He deserves my vote. I'm voting for him now. True story, guys. I'm not even kidding. People are coming over in numbers that I got to say I never expected to see. So that is a totally true point right there.
They've abandoned that.
Well, I wonder if they're doing the old, like, you know, train the boxer as a southpaw.
Yeah, I read that golf story too. This is not the first time. There's a lot of golf accounts that put out fake shit.
Oh.
And that.
Jamie, stop ruining our dreams.
I just want to.
You son of a.
That was not seemingly real.
Jamie plays a lot of golf, and he gets very touchy when it comes to golf, and he calls bullshit.
That's fair.
It just came from a Reddit post that people screenshotted. There was no pictures, no nothing else.
Oh,
you know,
well, touche, young troll.
Yeah,
touche.
It happens a lot.
You got your fucking story mentioned on the podcast.
Yeah. That's me.
You sons of bitches.
You can get me very easily.
I did read that too. The whole thing's so wild. There's video of the kid in the BlackRock commercial, and you're like, what? And there's the video of a kid, like, they're saying he's getting bullied in high school, but it doesn't seem like he's being bullied. They're just filming each other. It looks like they're having fun. And you're looking like, how is it 2 years later, this guy tries to kill Trump? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
And then you find out he was a registered Republican? Like, what? 20 years old? And he's got this idea, and he pulls it off? He actually gets a shot off and nicks him? And then they kill him? Like, you're seeing this 20-year-old kid, his life is over. Like, somehow or another, he talked himself into trying to assassinate the president as a lone gunman in Pennsylvania, got on top of a roof, either through sheer incompetence or for some other reason. He actually gets a shot off, and the president just moves his head at the right time. Like,
It really is crazy. And much like Joe, I do also wonder, was it really just a matter of incompetence? Let's put all the factors together, okay? They had the building secured, inside of it, not the rooftop though, somehow. A policeman literally confronted the gunman and he just ran off and did nothing. There were witnesses at the rally or around the rally who said, hey, there's a guy with a gun, take care of him. And the Secret Service did nothing, according to their accounts. It really stinks. Also, this whole idea of the guy being a Republican, yes, he was technically a registered Republican, and you've seen media outlets push this to try to suggest, oh, he's a crazy Trumper. You know, that's obviously the implication. Well, here's a fact for you. He donated $15, the shooter donated $15 to Joe Biden via the Act Blue campaign before the 2020 election. So in other words, he was a Biden supporter. That's an objective fact. He supported Biden financially, okay? As for the registered Republican part goes, sure, that might be true. But for all we know, he may have registered Republican just to vote against Trump in a primary. I'm not saying he did, I don't know, but that's very possible. So there are a lot of weird factors to think about here.
the thing is, if it was in a movie, I'd be like, shut the fuck up.
That'll make you believe in God. That's when God's up there when he's going like, I don't want to talk to this guy yet. He's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't want him up here yet.
Maybe
I don't want him.
that.
I'm the greatest angel.
Or maybe he wants him here to expose how crazy our political system really is. Because the only way we find out how coordinated everything is, whether you're a Trump fan or not, even if you hate Trump, put that aside for a second and just look at how much coordination there is in the media to go after him. And it exposes like this thing where you have to step back and go, wait a minute, hold on a second. What's really going on? Like, whether you hate that guy or not, hate him, think he's a crook, hate him, think he's a liar, hate him. Don't you think it's weird that they're all in lockstep with the way they talk about him, even with things that aren't true? Like, especially like the Russia collusion hoax that they all talked about for years and years. I thought it was real. I thought like he colluded with Russia, and that was like the crazy thing about him winning the presidency. Oh my God, he worked with Russia. Maybe Russia has something on him. You kept hearing about it, right? That was just bullshit.
Russia.
And they went through that for years and years, and then you start going, okay, what else?
Well, guys, that wraps up that clip for now. Hope you found it interesting. I know I did. It's insane what happened. There's no other way to put it. And I'm really curious to hear what you guys think. Do you think this was just a matter of sheer incompetence? You know, everybody in the Secret Service just happened to be so incredibly stupid that they let this occur? Or do you think there's something else at play? I'm really curious. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Aside from that, let us know what you liked about the video, what you want to see next, and we'll see you guys again so very soon, I am sure. Thanks so much, and God bless.